Tell me when we're up.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hello! How's it going, all of you beautiful people? So, our normal DM, Saquon, will not be able to join us tonight, busy with other things, but we wish him well, and we are hoping for his safe return next week. In the meantime, we do have some new guest stars with us today, so say hello to our friends. We are about to have a little bit of a fun night tonight. This isn't your mom's Dungeons and Dragons. No, no. We have decided to reflavor the rules. So, welcome, my dear friends, to Keltrex.
And for those of you who are wondering, the man in the center stage, uh, James, is actually DMing tonight. So,
Yes.
none of us
Oh
know what
boy.
really to expect. So,
Neither do I. Don't worry. It's fine. Anyways.
that's not ominous at
so
all.
I'm sorry. It was supposed to be. Anyways. So welcome, my friends, to the island of Keltrex. In our world, but just a little bit different. Technology has advanced far faster than it ever had on Earth as we know it. There are many different people that have had augmentations, different enhancements to give them special abilities via technology. And yes, there's a whole lot of guns. So, we find ourselves in a rather lively establishment. Music is blaring, everything is just drunken, debaucherous nightmare fuel for anybody who is of a weak constitution. You have a very fair skinned man sitting at the bar, shaking up a few drinks and making casual conversation with some of the regulars, um, very much as I am dressed now. Nice black suit vest with a white shirt, um, but a bit longer hair, and definitely with that quick southern drawl that most people don't seem to expect in this part of the world. Now, slowly, one by one, your characters start making their way in from the different sides of the bar. So why don't we get through some introductions, shall we? May I have Celeste? Why don't you introduce your character and give us a bit of a rundown?
Celeste stands about 5'7" tall. She's got long blonde hair. She's petite for a well muscled woman, and for some reason, people steer clear of her. When she looks at you, it's probably the last thing you see. So you maybe don't want to look at her too hard. Like, just don't make eye contact and you're fine. The same way you wouldn't look a wolf in the eye, don't make eye contact with Celeste unless you want to start something. And she's quite happily sitting at the bar, drinking her vodka, commenting to no one, waiting for her instructions.
Well, that's mighty fine. Now, can we have our friend Calvin step up to the plate and give us the rundown?
Is that somewhere near good old Celeste? Calvin is 5'4", a bit shorter than his sister, but nevertheless, just as what's the word? People don't fuck with him, essentially.
Hey, listen, you're a member of the bottom feeders.
You don't look at his sister at all. The only way you should look at Calvin is in the eyes. Otherwise, there was that one case back in the sky view, but let's not go there.
Alrighty, Ash, why don't we give us a little bit of a sneak peek at our good robot boy?
Hello, I am Ash992. I am here for all of your healing needs. He's about 6 foot tall, no, 5'10", about 5'10" average for a guy. There is scarring on his synthetic skin, that he seemed to have just left there instead of mending, just to give him a little bit more of a ruggish look. A rugged look. Brain don't work. He's got no, like almost no hair on the sides, just a, like tuft of black hair on the top, and the front is white. And he's almost indistinguishable from an actual human.
Okay. Well then, Rodney, shall we?
So Rodney is sitting off in the corner. He's 6'3", about 24, tan, blonde hair, and green eyes. He's trying to keep himself as discreet as possible, but occasionally he has this little twitch, and occasionally somebody just hears randomly in their voice, "When are we supposed to do this thing? What are we waiting for?" And it's just random. Nobody knows where it's coming from. But Rodney occasionally, when it happens, just twitches lightly.
Right. And Sonata.
Sonata is, well, at an unassuming 5'5", is a very striking figure in the crowd, because this woman, she knows what she's about, and you know just by looking at her. She's dressed in a very business casual attire. Her what's it called? Her blazer hanging off her shoulders. She's got like this, one of those, like, it looks like it's a cigarette off of one of those cigarette holders, the really long ones that you hold between two fingers. And she is curvy in all the right places. Shortcut hair kind of out of her way, the most elegantly done up makeup. And standing behind her is this, like, almost 7-foot tall behemoth of this steel guardian. Just standing there. That definitely scares off a lot of people from around her, with the fact that it has weapons strapped to its side. And she's leaning over the bar counter having a conversation with the aforementioned fair-skinned man behind it.
That fair-skinned man be Rupert Galloway, King of Diamonds. Now all of you have been summoned here for a very specific purpose, and as Rupert takes account every single person that's coming up to the bar, gives a subtle grin. Well, seems like we have the bottom feeders right crew right here. Now let's get down to business. Pours a few drinks across the counter, making sure that each one is made to specifications probably given to him plenty of times beforehand, and places each one in front of each person. He does pay extra close attention to Celeste because he probably is the only one who dares look into the eyes of the wolf. Now listen. Normally I call you for more fun, lighthearted, maybe a bit of stealing, maybe a bit of info gathering, you know, just the little things.
Celeste's eyes immediately light up and she looks at him and she says, "Are we doing murder today?"
Don't know yet, but there is something concerning that's happened in the mangroves of the island. Couple of my friends who live out in those areas deep in the wilds have been talking about some rumblings going on deep in the ground. Don't know what it is yet. Haven't been able to figure it out myself as I've been busy with other things. And as he kind of like waves his hand up in front, you know, he talks with his hands a lot. He's very charismatic, very much energetic, all over the place. But the sheen that comes off his hand is something that most of you haven't seen yet. So, unfortunately, I haven't been able to take a look myself. And also, unfortunately, the big fucker right there, and he points to this 9-foot tall, gray-skinned man with a bun sitting on the top of his head and a thick beard, wearing sort of like a jacket vest with like a hoodie underneath and just some regular ratty jeans, is too chicken to go into the fucking caves down there to actually take a look. The man looks over, and to all of you recognize this is Maddox, who is probably the best bouncer this side of the city. Listen, man, I can't help it that I don't know what is big enough to make rumbles down there, and I have been down in this city since it was fucking built. Oh, whatever, you big baby. Anyway,
Bengals aren't far away from my part of the woods.
and that's exactly why you were picked for this mission. You have some expertise in that area. Each of you have a particular set of skills that I'm going to need to make sure that the right information is brought to me as quickly and hopefully with as minimal casualties as possible.
Random
Now
twitch.
remember.
Random twitch from Rodney. Then all of a sudden, what special skills would I have?
Let's just say that since I don't know what's down there, or rather who might be down there, you know how to get the information out of people that they don't necessarily want out, and if we want them to stop, might be a good idea to have you with an ear to the ground.
So there are going to be people on this trip. We're not just fighting big bad beasties.
Again, I don't know yet, but if my suspicion is correct, might be safe to make sure. Now, I have a way to get you there that y'all might have some fun with. And there is a door that opens up behind the bar, and Rupert just kind of, why don't y'all follow me? He starts slowly making his way towards the door. What are you doing?
I'm not as up and following immediately.
Ash waits
Okay,
for
this
everyone
is-
else to go first.
He gets up. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You're all good.
Like, she gets up and that woman's hips are swinging as she goes. And the defender is right behind her.
Calvin tries his best to not stare.
Rupert's not hiding shit. He's looking. Anyway.
Well,
Or reference. Never mind. Never mind.
No, go
TMI.
ahead, Ben.
Go for it, man.
Yeah. Well, shall we? We're gonna follow this crazy bastard.
All right. Everybody following through? Everybody coming in?
Yeah.
Ash is at the very back.
Fantastic. As everybody makes their way through, that door slams shut. Now, you can't see a damn thing unless you got dark vision, but even then, you only get about so far before it just fades into inky blackness. And then slowly, lights start flickering on, and the deep, bright fluorescent white spans out over the area to what would be the biggest fucking bird you have ever seen in your goddamn life. Now, for those of our audience, this bird is probably about as big as a Boeing 747 if you look at it the right way. Multicolored plumage that rides from a blue at the front and fades into a red and then a green going out through the tail feathers. And it lets out a shriek that would curdle blood and definitely make the right person piss themselves if they were in too close.
Good thing my blood
Is
is
it very
oil.
sudden? Is it
Oh,
very sudden?
It's more of a, it's like a craning of the neck and then like a, think like the seagull meme, you know, like fucking.
As the sound comes out of this bird, Celeste's hand violently jerks, and her vodka ends up all over Calvin.
God,
I love this. I love this so much.
I'm so
Okay.
really clear on the other side of the room this time. You can see that I didn't mean it. I didn't. Much.
Oh my god, do I love these
Ash.
siblings.
Ash pulls out like a cloth from who knows where and just kind of hands it out to Calvin without even an expression on his face.
Calvin slowly wipes his face and just glares at Celeste for a second before turning his eyes to the bird. Now, how the hell did you get one of these?
When that all happens, Nada like turns around, pulls a cigarette out of her mouth, and looks at Celeste, and just has that kind of like woman to woman exchange of thoughts of just like, and I thought you were impressive, and then turns around and keeps following after Rupert.
Celeste kind of gives her a look like, I know I'm impressive. Thank you for noticing. Appreciate it.
Now,
Rodney's just utterly confused. He's like, huh? He's just like following anyway.
This group is something else.
now, strapped to the sides of this bird, by the way, not only is there like a saddle-like area for a good amount of people to sit on, but mounted to the sides of this basket are big fucking turrets. Like the kind of turrets that make a man look at them for a moment and think, I wouldn't even go at those things with a tank. And Rupert just has the biggest grin on his face, like the most satisfied you've ever seen this man. And he says, well, my friends, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Skittles. And the bird, turns and just like, kind of like brings its head towards Rupert, and he just kind of like scratches under the chin like it's a dog. Yeah, it's a good bird. Who's a good bird, huh? Anyway. Now, as to answer your question, Calvin, as to how I procured this fine beastie, let's just say its mom made enough dino nuggets to feed a small African village. Damn good eating, too. Skittles kind of like squawks like lightly in Rupert's face. It's like, listen, man, I didn't have a choice. She came after me, all right? At least I didn't do it to you, too. Now, this bird knows just about as much as all of y'all do about the wilds and more. And he looks at Celeste at that one. So treat her nicely. Make sure she don't come back dead, or I'll kill every one of you.
I know how to treat a woman unlike some people. We'll be fine.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that.
Rodney just stands there, just like, what was that me?
Yes, honey. Yes, it was you. She was absolutely meeting Rodney out here with his what's going on?
Guns and checks his weapons. Right. So, mangroves. Where the fuck is that?
Oh, don't worry. She's better than any GPS you'll ever find. Now, I'm gonna give you these. And he hands out these communication devices to each person. It's kind of like that over-the-ear, like real nice old school like CIA shit. Now I know y'all have your way of contacting me, and I have my ways of contacting you, but this way it allows for a one-to-one communication, and it's linked to all of you, so you don't have to worry about talking and being too silent. Made by a friend of mine, the vigilante with a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, yeah, the other crazy bastard.
You mean the card?
Yeah, the other card. The fun one. Anyways. Make sure I get the information I need. Take out what needs to be taken out. And, if diplomacy can be implemented, I'd suggest using it. But, let's be honest, we're all bottom feeders. and we have a specific brand of justice and whoop ass that we like to give to people we don't like. Now, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well then, on your way, my friends. And Rupert, just with a snap of his fingers, this hangar door sort of pulls out, not from the side, but like in the roof, and it goes up on this incline that leads what you would believe to be street level. And with that, I bid you all adieu. And he just starts making his way out again.
Ash will look at him. I do hope you know that I don't have any sort of whoop ass.
Yeah, listen, Doughboy, I put you on this mission simply because we want to keep the other ones alive. Try not to get killed yourself, and you should be back. You should just be fine.
I wasn't worried about myself. I just wanted to make sure you knew that I'm not here to hurt things. I'm here to heal them.
And that's perfectly fine. Just don't heal the bad guys.
I don't understand why I would.
Fair enough.
Are
And
you
then-
sure he understands who the bad guys are? I think there's a few things loose in
Listen,
the insides.
listen. He's still a bottom feeder. He still knows the gist of things. I got faith in him. And he kind of like looks to Sonata and like kind of like leans in a bit. Just don't let him heal the bad guys, and he should be fine.
Ash looks to Rupert and kind of like points at Sonata. She's what you would call an asshole, right?
If she's anything like me, then yes.
Okay.
She just smiles and then kind of like smacks her own ass. I mean,
Nope.
I've got ass for days, but I don't think you're the kind that wants it like the most do.
Rupert just
Ronnie
chuckles.
is just blushing and coughing like.
This is gonna be a long mission. All right.
Sonata. Also, you might want to make sure that the assets don't distract from the mission itself.
I can't.
Just make sure they
promise.
stay on task.
You know I can't. You know I just cannot keep it under wraps. It's no fun.
Fine. If they try anything funny, make sure the Steel Guardian hits him on the fucking head. And then Rupert firmly walks out.
And Sonata just kind of pats the Steel Defender on the chest and looks to the group. And since y'all don't know the names, Sonata, and this is Symphony. And if I don't like what you do with me, then you get Symphony and me and my family to pull you to pieces. Nice to meet you.
Right. Okay.
Rodney, very simple. Hi. Can
Celeste
we
She
go now?
winks.
And immediately gives him the raised eyebrows of Nertucci. like, like, do not do this. If you die because some pretty girl looked at you, we're gonna have words.
Hey, things go that way. So be a blonde 10 nothing.
Better be.
This crew as a whole is just stupid hot. I wish y'all could see the character art that we have in the chat. Like, this entire group of people is stupid hot, and it's not fair.
Listen, if Rupert wasn't wondering about somebody else, he would have been flirting with all of y'all. Anyways,
Ash is completely off the table because he is asexual.
hey, diversity.
Valid.
So, as the introductions go on, the bird slowly drops a wing down onto the platform where y'all are resting and just kind of gives a look like, you may want to move a little bit faster.
Celeste immediately starts climbing up the bird, like, all right, I'm ready. Let's
Ash
go.
just
let's
starts
do this."
ushering people in without a care who they are, what they look like, whether or not they think that they're badass or not. He's just like, come on, let's go. Pretty much is essentially the idea. Is just like, get on the bird,
I feel like Ash is gonna add some much needed efficiency to this group.
Also,
Celeste is just quietly wondering if Ash is like the group nanny.
probably.
Essentially, yeah.
Rupert wouldn't tell you, but yes. Okay.
See, but like Symphony is Sonata's nanny, technically. Sonata built her own nanny.
Too
Is
fucking
it-
Can
keeps her
can
safe.
Symphony heal her?
Actually, I don't know. I need to go look at the Steel Defender sheet. She might. Probably not. I don't
mean,
know.
it's
Anyways,
still-
Don't worry, I will do the nanny nurse job. Okay.
no, but she can't protect Sonata. She can impose disadvantage on an attack roll. To
I
Sonata
can cancel crits.
on yourself.
Not on everybody. So long as you're within a certain range of me, I can just say no.
Yeah, well, Symphony can also like heal you, so whatever. But anyways,
Okay. So, everybody's on the back of the bird?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me ask this ahead of time. Who is actually strapping their belts on?
fucking
Rodney
Calvin.
will.
Ash will do it only for necessity,
He's like, fuck this.
and he will look at everybody else.
Celeste, Sonata, belts or no?
Sonata would, and Symphony would right behind her.
Okay.
Celeste doesn't have a death wish, so yes.
Yeah, no, it's smart. Because as soon as everybody is seated in and everything is set up and ready to go, this bird, despite its size, like a bullet, out of this cavern, up into the air from a now open set of street that was just outside of the tower, which is known as the DDA, or the Deck of Detectives Agency. And just still not losing speed, no holds bar, breakneck, and it takes y'all a minute to actually, stop going like, cheeks flying back with the air pressure and like pressed into the seat, to actually gain some momentum and start feeling the groove of the flying, and just starts coasting. And it doesn't take very long, since Keltrex isn't a very big island, before it starts hitting the wildlands. Down below, couple of different animals, couple of different flora and fauna, and one tiny cabin with a weird dude swinging an axe at a stump trying to get some firewood. And then you hit the mangroves. And as you start actually getting over these vast expanses of swamp and shallow water, do you finally hear a deep in the ground, this rumble, this absolute earth shake, and you can see the trees themselves start to actually shudder, and the leaves start to move, and the very loose ground that's underneath actually itself starts to ebb and flow, almost like a very calm pond. But it's fucking earth, and it definitely has an impact.
Oh, what the okay.
I think we found what we're looking for.
I reckon so.
Whatever that is.
How
Sonata
far are we
just-
away from it?
What, sorry?
How far are we away from it?
So you're probably about, if I'm taking into account the big ass bird, you're probably about 80 feet in the air, actually above the ground.
Okay.
And as far as you can see throughout the entirety of the mangroves, it's not just concentrated. It is like almost the whole set of land that you're flying over starts to shift and move.
That's okay. Looks at his revolver. Yes, we did.
Hold on. Can Rodney clearly see if it is a creature.
Roll me a nature check.
Okay.
So Sonata's just gonna kind of reach over and like tap you twice on the arm. Take a guidance.
And take a bless.
What's blood?
Like, it's another D4. So you can add 2 D4 to what you're doing right now.
So
Okay, so
that's
that
a
was-
19 total.
Not bad.
So
And let's see.
Bless his concentration.
Yeah, no. Celeste and Kelvin also get it. You get a
Okay.
D4 for the next minute on things you want to check or save from.
okay, good to know.
Or sorry, whenever you make an attack roll or saving throw.
Oh, so the ability
So-
check. So minus that 4, and you had a 12, so that would be a 15 with that 3. Because guidance. Bless is only for attack rolls and saving throws. It's not for ability
Oh,
checks.
so therefore it would just be the 15, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you take a second and try to figure out if there's some native fauna that could cause something like this. And while you don't really think much about animals, something does come to mind that Rupert has filled you in on previously. And that is all of Keltrex lives atop of what's known as the Voidlands. And
No,
Given-
no.
given
no.
how given
No.
the level of movement, there is no creature big enough to actually cause something of this magnitude. However, the generators that use the energy that comes from the Voidlands in order to keep the city afloat, a malfunction in one of those definitely could cause something like this.
That's
So Rodney is
great.
going to mention that, like, well, that's not a creature. It looks like maybe the an engine's going bad. Maybe.
Oh, fuck. Okay, great.
Sonata frowns because she's native to Keltrex. She's born and raised Keltrex all the way. She knows how this city works, and especially as the kind of tech that she is, she doesn't like the sound of that. Well, that doesn't bode well for the city as a whole. Those things aren't easy to fix. It's old tech.
I doubt amending would help.
No, that wouldn't do shit, hun.
So
Somehow I doubt this is what he sent us here to see, though.
probably not.
Love that pedigree.
Maybe something messed with it. I think maybe. I'm just guessing here.
Can we see like the generators themselves? Are they
Roll me
above
a-
ground? Like,
roll
is that
me
a
a-
thing?
Roll me a perception check.
All of us?
Meanwhile,
I'm gonna guidance myself on that.
Yeah, I'll say all of you make a perception check. Every single one of you make a perception
meanwhile,
check.
Ash looks to Rodney. It is
Make
I
sure-
likely.
don't think I need a guidance.
I don't think so. I don't need one either.
I'm gonna roll one anyway because I think it'd be funny.
Let me know what you all roll, so that
That's a
way I can.
9.
That would be a total of 30.
25.
Thank you.
20.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I rolled a 26 and then a 4 on a D4 for guidance. That is a 30
Okay.
perception.
So, Sonata, Rodney, and Calvin. While you don't see any engines, and Sonata would know that they are in fact underground, what you do see, about 120 feet off, there's a break in the canopy. And slowly, as you start to get closer, you can see where the ground itself has caved in and the water is slowly flowing deep into this sinkhole that has opened up. And it is massive, almost 80 feet across in terms of diameter. And it was not there before for anybody who has seen the mangroves.
You know, I don't think that's supposed to be there.
I think that's where we're supposed to go.
But I don't want to go underground. It's dirty.
Calvin almost takes
Les
some track.
just kind of like side eyes her and says, "But if you get dirty, then somebody helps you get clean. So let's go, solve the problem, and then we can have a bath."
I like the way you think. Let's go.
Rodney, just that conversation is now blushing deep. He's just like, and he has a
Guys.
small little twitch, and he's just like, and all of a sudden they both
Oh my god.
join.
For the exception of Ash, this group is horny on main. So like, just so y'all
How
understand.
did you look? Okay. Even before the others were thrown in here, I think it was the first one with Art. I threw you a hot artificer, and then everyone else came in here with hot cowboys and cowgirls and
Yeah.
hot warforged and whatever the fuck Rodney is. Okay,
I ain't
come
no
on.
hater. I ain't no hater. We all know I ain't no hater. Anyways,
This group is very different from our usually scheduled programming.
With some,
yeah, guys, you came in for the hot and heavy times. Anyways,
with some reprogramming, Ash might be willing, but
Oh my god, no. Let's
I'm just
let's have one innocent person to this
y'all
entire
drink
dynamic,
some
please.
water and hydrate real quick. All right. Anyways,
Symphony hands Sonata a water bottle, and Sonata starts drinking it.
just gets the mental message from Symphony. Are you
Yes.
thirsty?
Oh,
I
no.
mean, Symphony can speak. The Steel Defender can speak. Actually, because the speaker does just understanding with this. Hold on.
Calvin,
Anyway.
jacket. This is his hat. Right. All right. This is gonna be good. No problem.
It understands the languages that I speak, but it does not
You
speak
all-
itself speak.
you all hear a slight ringtone that enters your ears, and
Get out of the way.
it's to the sound of "Ain't No Grave" by Johnny Cash. And if you know that ringtone, you know exactly who's calling you.
Fucking.
As the smooth southern drawl enters your ears. Right. So either you're all on task, or you decided to have an orgy on the top of the bird, which you are cleaning if that is the case. What do you got for me?
Sinkhole. Big fucking thing. Mangroves. Water's going in.
That's
Engine
very
going
vague.
Bad.
That's a little clearer.
Possibly engine going bad, and there's a big hole in the mangroves that looks to be a sinkhole.
Sonata chimes in. First of all, if we did, it would now be your fault, because I don't think any of us were thinking that, hun. But now you've put the idea in our heads, and it would definitely be me starting it. But
Listen,
anyways,
I've
like the
watched
others said, we've got an engine down, and we've got a sinkhole. And the first thing I need you to do is send a message back to the family so I can get a repair team out here as soon as possible. I would really like to keep the same service in our pocket.
No one is hurt yet.
Unfortunately for you, you're the only member of your family that I have good standing with. If you don't remember, our good buddy Jack decided to axe a couple of your guys a couple of years ago. It might not be a good idea.
Just a heavy sigh over the comms.
Right. By the way, in terms of your previous comment of it being my fault, I saw the way Calvin was eyeballing you. Don't you fucking give me jack shit about it being my fault.
See,
Anyways.
I don't think it's gonna be him. at all. And she side eyes Celeste.
Celeste,
Listen, I know your persuasions. You're fine. Anyway, look.
In the middle
thing-
of this, it's just Ash. No one's hurt yet. You know what Ash is? Ash is just a hot Baymax.
Ash is a hot Baymax.
I cannot unsee it now.
Yeah.
From now on,
As-
Ash's face is just a line and 2 dots.
As stated before, no one is hurt yet, but I assume that shouldn't take long.
Who's he looking at?
He just looks at the group. Like, the entire group. He's like, it shouldn't take long. He will have to heal
I
somebody by
don't
the
like
end
your.
of this day.
I don't like what you're implying.
Yeah, I can handle
Sounds
myself.
to me like he's on the he's on the pulse right now.
Sounds to me like he stuck himself up on a pedestal.
I stuck him up on a pedestal. Y'all are fucking nuts. So, what's the plan? You gonna go down the sinkhole and figure out what's shaking up our fucking city?
I think that's the only option we really have.
That is the only.
Now, just for y'all's sake, you realize that this bird is not going to fit down this sinkhole.
I didn't think it was going to.
Okay, just making sure you all know that this bird is looking at this sinkhole, and for some strange reason, you get the feeling that Skittles can hear everything y'all are hearing, and just kind of looks at the hole and looks back to the group like, "You're not expecting me to go down there, right?"
No, we're not.
He's not talking, but
I know.
apparently Ash speaks bird.
Ash,
Squawk.
Ash read the entire expression, was just like, no, we're not.
Well, technically, because of the fact it's a creature, Rodney could talk to him. Could talk to Skittles because of Mind Link.
Okay.
And Skittles
Fair
can
enough.
talk back to Rodney because of Mind Link. For an
Okay.
hour.
Okay. What's the range on that? Just so I
100
know.
feet.
This might be... Okay. That might do you well in the future. So,
Rodney is legit gonna look towards, well, it's within 100 feet to activate it, but it doesn't actually see a range after that. It just says an hour.
you know what? For the sake of this, since it's probably some form of technology in this world, I'll say fuck the range. You're fine.
Rodney's
But
actually
yeah.
gonna look to Skittles and actually create a mind link between the two. So that Skittles can respond back. Since I'm not sure as to what equipment is really here, and I'm pretty sure you do know, is there some kind of way for us to get down into the hole?
Skittles takes a second.
Against all of Skittles' instincts to get into a hole.
No. The wording
Hold on.
is not for Skittles to get into the hole. It is for us to get in.
So,
Y'all need to
So-
stop being horny on main.
Nobody's.
Where?
there's nothing horny in that. Why? Where did that
That
come
was
from?
one thing that we didn't do anything with, Riley.
I don't know, sound like it to me.
For the first
I
time,
think that's
Ash
you.
doesn't
being
understand
horny.
like the actual attraction, but it seems Ash finds innuendos and things even when there isn't. So
Here's the
Well,
dynamic.
with this group,
Everyone
can you
else
blame him?
No. Here's the thing. Everyone else is making innuendos at the right time, and then at all the wrong times, Ash makes an innuendo, and everyone's
Yes.
just like,
yes.
What?
no.
So
Just completely misses the bus.
me
Yes.
trying to figure out what kind of voice to use for a giant bird.
I can't wait to hear this one.
You know what? We're gonna go with a voice I already done, but you know what? It kind of fits. I'm a fucking bird. I don't go in holes.
Question was not for you to go into hole.
No, but like, dude, I'm aerial travel only. The equipment that you have on here is for above ground. No way for you to get under. This wasn't here before. I've never seen this in my life. If you're gonna try and find a way down there, you're gonna find a way down there.
Okay. Thank you.
Poor Rodney. He's just trying.
And then Rodney's gonna look to everybody else, and it's clear as day, without actually meaning it, he's just gonna say, he's pretty much useless if we try to go underground. He only stays up in the air. But he says that this only happened like recently, but there's nothing there's nothing here that he has to help us get down into the hole. So anybody else has any other ideas?
I mean, I know how I can get down there, but rest of you?
Ash is just
On your
sitting
own.
there like, don't let them get ideas. Someone's gonna fucking jump.
Sonata has spider climb. She can literally just walk down the hole.
What does Calvin do? Let me see.
Does Skittles land? Does Skittles finally land?
Skittles is slowly kind of coming around and like trying to find where where she thinks there's like a decent plot of land that will hold like her weight, so that way she doesn't go into the sinkhole with everything else.
Important question: how deep does that sinkhole look?
You don't see a bottom.
I was gonna ask, like, when we land, Sonata's gonna slide off. Symphony comes right after her, and she's gonna kind of look over the edge. And I was gonna ask if we could see the bottom.
You know what? Give me a perception check.
And we're gonna guidance this one too.
This is just for Sonata because she's the one who's like actively looking over the side.
I don't think I need the guidance, but I'm gonna use it anyway, just because I want to see how ridiculous this can get.
It's just the way we do things here.
28.
Fair enough.
28 is how ridiculous we've gotten this time.
You don't see a bottom, but what you do see is in the side of this sinkhole where the water is kind of pouring in, there is a bit of an outcropping that seems to be metallic in nature that the water is sort of funneling over into the sides of, where there does seem to be an open passage.
How far down?
Probably about 50 feet from the actual sinkhole itself.
It's like against the wall or like in the middle of the hole?
Against the wall.
Cool. I assume we have what passes for rope at this day and age that could be used climbing equipment.
I'll say, you know what?
I mean, that comes with basic equipment with the character sheets, so
yes, I'll say you have the equivalent of, like, we'll say it's like paracord and a couple of carabiners and some climbing equipment on you because you're bottom feeders and you all have at least some expertise in knowing what the hell you need to bring on a mission.
Right. Just gonna take a look at the others. You bring all the stuff that he gives us all the time?
Yep.
As she's saying that, Rodney's already putting climbing gear on, looking to the rope, and then looking to Ash and Symphony, and holding out one end. Can you hold this real quick?
How about you just tie it down?
Well, I was actually gonna go down first, and because I kind of tend to do that a lot, since I can kind of let you guys know what I see.
Here's this. He pulls out a movable rod and pins to a tree. Here.
Nice.
And then he's actually going to create a mental link to Sonata, and then just go, I'll be right back. And he just swan dives over the edge.
Is there a platform at the bottom that we can, or like somewhere we can land?
There's no bottom that you can see. All there is that opening, and there is like an actual tunnel, like it is a structure of some sort. But your best bet is you're probably gonna have to swing in from some way, shape,
that's what I'm
or
thinking.
once again. Because he's a monk, he can.
So as fucking Rodney dolphin dives into this fucking sinkhole, I'm having, for some strange reason, flashbacks to another stream where somebody dove off a fucking cliff and nearly died.
Celeste leans towards her brother and kind of says quietly, I was just gonna drop my water bottle down and do a locate object, see how far down it is. But
do
you
me
if
a
you
favor, Rodney. Give me an acrobatics check.
Nobody sees Ash anymore,
Oh, where the?
Where did Ash go?
except for Rodney.
know,
Did you teleport down there?
No, he's falling right next to him.
Did you not? Are you?
No, he's falling right next to him. Don't worry, he's safe.
Where the?
That's a
Hey,
27.
so are you trying to have Rodney catch you midway down to help you get into this thing, or are you just straight up falling?
Well, right now he's falling.
How are you
Assume
going
there's an item or something in place for this.
Yes, he's safe. Don't worry.
Okay, because I'm sitting here wondering what the hell you're thinking you're gonna do.
We simply have you gotten tired of Ash already?
Okay,
There you go.
so
27.
with that 27, Rodney is able to almost expertly, like, almost spin twist in midair and then almost go into a somersault halfway down. And as the cord kind of pulls taut, is able to just ever so gently swing himself right into the fucking tunnel and land on the feet, just like basically giving a bow at the end, I'm guessing at this point, and is now in this, coming from up above where it was like kind of moderate temperature, coming into this tunnel, the heat is almost stifling. It is hot, it is muggy, and it is damp. And you're having trouble almost catching your breath at first. But once you start to get acclimated to it, it just feels like a really fucked up sauna. I need you. Well, actually, let's figure out what the fuck Ash is doing first, because I'm trying to figure out whether I'm going to have this man die or not.
So he's falling, but as he's falling, like he's like right side up, just kind of like looking at the area he wants to be at. There's a shift in his legs that reveals boosters.
Ooh.
And he just kind of glides into a stop and kind of like it's essentially glide in and then just walk onto the floor as if you were just
Tony Stark, Iron Man, that shit. You know what I mean? I like that. That's sick. So I need perception checks from both Ash and Rodney real quick.
guidance for you, my guy. And I'll assist because I do not have good.
Yeah, so take that at advantage.
So I'll just roll another one. And we'll definitely.
First one
Okay.
was better.
That's a
So-
23 total.
Does your race have dark vision? Just as a thing, so I know.
Yes, I have 60 foot of dark vision because of the Gloom Ambush, Gloomstalker.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
I don't technically have it, but I don't know if you would give an android dark vision or not.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, I'm gonna say because of your race, if it's not in your programming, it's not there currently. So, Rodney, you take a look and just ever so subtly, and you know what, I'll say that Ash kind of picks up on some of this, not a lot, but just a bit. There is what appears to be almost a shimmering fog that pours in from the opposite end of the tunnel. It is... You can't make out the color, but it does seem to have one, and it's just this billowing cloud that just sits on the edge. For Ash, what you see as it kind of pulls into like where some of the light is coming in, it's this oddly purplish mixed with blues, and it's almost glowing as it comes into the light.
Uh, by the way, with the perception, would I have found a place to attach the rope to?
I'm gonna say that like you could probably have found a place to attach the rope to on the inside. There's probably some handles on the side or some shit
So he's going
that you
to
can
tie the rope
secure.
off, still keeping the mist in sight because you never know. Um, and he's going to reach back out to Sonata. Um, the rope is tied, so you guys can now take the rope down. There's also a mist in here, so you may want to keep an eye out for that. Ash is with me, and we will wait for you all here.
He goes over the comms or whatever.
Oh, this is mind link. This isn't through comms.
No, no.
Okay.
But he will. And he's just gonna say, I would suggest mouth coverings, just in case.
Okay. So you've secured the rope, and you've told them up above that it's all secure, everything's set to go, or what's?
Well, he told Sonata because mind linked to her
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure she would tell everybody what's going on.
Yeah.
So what is the rest of the group doing?
Right. I mean, what?
I mean, Celeste is not crying. She's just. Are you alive down there?
Hello.
Calvin,
I am not risking my neck to jump down there.
Well, if Sonata got the message and she passed along everything, then
Yeah,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure the rest of them know.
Then I suppose we'd better make our way down then.
after you. Well, both of you.
Such a gentleman.
He's just trying to stare at ass.
Just to Calvin, because Rupert never hung up this call and has been listening to everything y'all fuckers are saying. Nice, keep yourself alive. That's the smart way of doing things.
Sonata goes down after the other two.
Mhm.
Swings in. Lands. Symphony coming down right after her.
Okay. So everybody is now in this tunnel.
And,
Now
Celeste
how
has
many
brushes
how
off
many
the
of
top
you
her head.
actually have dark vision, just so I know?
Nope. Well,
Nope.
hold on.
You're
I forgot
tech-
she's a Kalishtar, so she also has the mental stuff. No, I don't have dark vision.
okay.
Flashlights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say that you guys do have access to some form of light source. So just for fun, as you turn these flashlights on and you're able to peer into the actual darkness, this fog almost lights up with this swirling purple, blue, and weirdly there is like little glints of what could be metallic or crystalline structures within it. Sonata, make me an Arcana check.
I'm good at those, hopefully. Let me not jinx myself. And guidance on this is because
Sacred.
always. I
Sacred
don't even
flames.
need. Do I need it? No. Will I? Yes. To show off? Absolutely. Let's make that a 34.
Okay. So Sonata recognizes this as
Quick thing. For our viewers watching right now who aren't aware, within this setting, because this is a more cyberpunk science fiction cyberpunk techie setting, we have switched Arcana from being magic, which does not exist in this world, to being like the tech skill. You're
Yes.
skilled at technology. This is hacking. This is all that
Yes.
kind of techie aspects. So that's why that's thus the Arcana skill being used in a non-magical setting. Continue.
okay. So Sonata, you take a look at this and your blood almost runs cold. Your knowledge of this city's technology being as good as it is, and even though this is old tech, you have a very, very strong inclination that this is leaking void energy. This is what gets refined
No.
and used to power the engines from the energy that is released from these portals, these places of oddly shifting dimensions. Um, it's non-toxic. It's not something that's going to kill you, but it is definitely a worrying sign.
It has carcinogens.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
I
it's
to
not like
make you
immediately
trip balls.
it's not immediately deadly. Give it like 30, 40 years and you might have a tumor or two, but it's fine.
Going to make you trip balls. But anyway, she kind of like,
Don't tempt me.
God, to like tap her ear, get on the comms, Rupert.
Yeah, yes, darling.
We've got leaking void energy down here, and not the nice kind.
Well,
This
all
is
right.
getting worse and worse by the moment. I don't think even you anticipated it was gonna be like this.
I indeed did not. I mean, I figured it was going to be something else, but y'all might want to take a look at that. And if it is as bad as this leads me to believe, we have a very short window of time in order to fix what we need to in order to make sure this city isn't sitting at the bottom of the ocean like the rest of them.
Anyone have mending?
Yeah.
Just immediately.
Is it a rip, like just a rip?
No. So like this is all just pouring out. There's no rip. This isn't the engine itself, but this fog is pouring out from the hall, from this tunnel. So you're not exactly on it, but
Yeah.
you are able to see that this has progressed in a way that is like if it's this far away from an engine, or what you believe to be this far away from an engine, this is bad.
And then Celeste taps her comm for Rupert and says, "Don't suppose you gave us any, like, I don't know, void proofing before we jumped in to this hole? None of our armor is, like, void proof. Like, we don't have to breathe the void in by any chance. Look, I'm just saying.
As far as I am aware, from what my people have told me in terms of void tech, void energy isn't actually a deadly thing. It might make your brain feel a bit fucky, but other than that, you should be fine. It's not anything that's going to be toxic or cause immediate damage.
And I still want to have kids in the future.
Don't worry, you're going to have plenty of ability to do that. And Rupert like says that with a tone of like, we all know that at some point it's gonna happen, whether it's on accident or purpose.
I'd rather not have my brain be fucky and me, kill the majority of my party by accident, because that's usually what happens when my brain gets a little messed up.
You ever smoked a joint, Celeste?
Yes. That
it's not
time
gonna do
that ground zero blew up. Do you remember that time? I remember that time. Let's not have a repeat of that time. Do we have a filter?
No.
Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull some strings. And he does shut off for a second. And it takes about a good 4 or 5 minutes. You got something coming inbound. Just hang tight. Don't fucking move. Because if you go any farther, I'm not going to be able to track you.
And then Celeste kind of just looks around and shrugs, and she's like, filters.
Ash will just step over to the edge of the opening
and
look up to the sky.
As that happens, you see what looks to be almost like a drone come down, but like in a weird like paint job on it. It's like almost spray painted with different kinds of graffiti, but the head of this drone looks like a golden eagle.
Typical
and
Rupert.
It's not Rupert, but so and on the side you see a signature of what would appear to be Chaska was here. And
Inner Kimber wiggles. Please tell me there's a little, like, there's just somewhere scrawled along the bottom a very indistinct signature that she still doesn't know how to write. So she just
yes, there is what appears to be
scribble.
there's what appears to be a red panda paw just like slapped beside it.
Yes.
Yes.
And as it comes down, you can see that there's like a little package attached to the bottom that because Rupert has a sense of humor, explodes, and then to each of your faces latches on this like mask that like sort of like sprawls out into this metallic face mask with like these like big old like filters on the front of it.
Presumably not ashes.
As
Not
it
ashes.
explodes, as soon as it explodes, Celeste's water bottle goes flying. And poor Calvin is once again drenched in water. She's like, I'm sorry.
Sonata's just so used to stuff like this, and she looks at the siblings and just, this happens a lot with you two, doesn't it?
Yep.
Ash,
And it's always him somehow.
Ash will pick up the water bottle
You poor thing. Always wet.
and takes out a little bit of twine and ties it around the top of the water bottle, forms a loop, walks it over, and puts the loop around Celeste's hand.
Doesn't matter what you try, darling, it'll happen every time.
This
There
is-
could be 12 people in front of me and him.
Her nail will
and
pop
every
through
time
at
the
Cinches-
some
water will
point.
only hit him.
Cinches the tine tight to her arm.
For the
None-
record, this was something we discussed out of character beforehand. This is going to be a running joke. Okay, so
Ash is still gonna try and stop it because
so
Of course.
in the comms yet again. I hope you're happy. There's your fucking filters. Now, we gotta get in there and we gotta fix this shit quick. I don't care how we do it. I don't care what did it. If there's something there, fucking kill it. We need to fix this thing before this whole place starts becoming a fucking aquarium. Gonna look like that one fucking video game that my fucking dumbass son keeps playing.
Subnautica.
Throughout all of this, Ronnie
No,
would have actually
Bioshock.
gotten a filter, put it on, and actually gone about 40 feet into this hallway, ahead of the group,
Okay.
and just into the comms. I'm gonna start trying to head in. I'll keep you guys updated if anything. I'm linked to Sonata for about an hour before my implant fizzles for a while. So there's that. And that's all he says because he's gonna start stealthing from there.
Okay. Give me that stealth check. But as you're going into this tunnel, it becomes less of a tunnel and starts turning into actual proper caves and caverns. There's stalactites and stalagmites coming up and down. And it is very unnerving because these are nearly symmetrical down this space. And they almost come up, and some of them even connect to form like a solid column. What's was the
17
stealth
total.
roll? 17 total? Okay. As you start moving up, I would like you to make a perception check.
When you start writing in promise instead of perception.
Listen, you two in fucking chat are
A
just
dirty
as bad.
20.
Dirty 20.
Sorry, my inner sonus came out.
It's okay.
My
That's
bad.
perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. So, with that 20, you notice that there are two branching paths. And down one, you hear what appears to be subtle breathing. Just a
Ooh.
it has this rather rugged tone with it. Down the other, dead silence. Almost an eerie silence.
It's a void junkie.
Hmm. It could be.
Looking to both sides. He's very simple.
Oh,
He-
actually, I should say, because of that roll, it completely skipped my mind. I apologize. The smoke, however, the fog is coming out of the one on the left without any sound.
He's definitely gonna relay back to Sonata what he's seen and what he's hearing.
I need
So like he will tell her the void vapor is coming from our left, but there's a voice coming from our right.
So, we want to face something we don't know, or possibly people. People we can might maybe talk our way out of. What we don't know, well, we don't know.
Are you good at talking to people? You seem like you're good at talking to people.
I am very good at talking to people.
Then you deal with the people.
People it is. And she starts walking after where Rodney went.
You cannot fuck the people.
You don't get to tell me what to do.
My cat has decided to be my co-DM, but is showing you her ass at this point in time, so I apologize. it's like every so often, like I can see it in the corner. Anyways,
she, you don't get to tell me what to do, but I have a rule. No fucking on missions.
That's a valid rule.
I'm distracting enough. I don't need to be distracted.
Right.
I think your brother agrees.
Absolutely.
man, you are more hot and bothered than a cat in heat. What is wrong with you?
Celeste just immediately looks at her brother like, really?
Sonata looks to Calvin. You should be used to pretty ladies walking around with your sister all the time.
Calvin is just twitching like mad.
You mean Rodney?
Well, yeah, Rodney. But at the same time,
I mean,
Calvin
I'm sure
is
Calvin's twitching too.
Calvin is twitching too. But no, Rodney is just twitching so bad right now. And
God damn, I should have looked at these characters before I let them in. God, I'm gonna have to deal with this the whole time. Anyways.
Stop listening into our comms then, Rupert. Maybe we're
Are you
not
kidding me? This
deal-
is my source of entertainment for the fucking day. I haven't been on a mission in the past fucking. We're not going to talk about how long it's been. Anyway.
I mean, you know I can always give you a show back at the glory hole.
Turn my shit right off.
Currently got my eyes on someone else. I apologize. Your services are probably no longer needed.
Lucky woman.
That's all he says. Anyways.
Celeste immediately pulls out her phone and shoots off a little text to the DDA cleaner and is like, hey, who is it?
The DDA cleaner?
Oh, the fucking gossip.
And there is
Okay.
an immediate response. It comes across on her text message screen. Listen, I don't clean the glory hole often, but damn, she is pretty. That's all I'm gonna say. When you get back up here, I'll point her out. But tell you
Yes,
what, she
by the
can
way,
your case.
for those of you who don't know, Rupert's establishment, Rupert Galloway, has an establishment known as the Galloway Glory Hole Speakeasy. Yes, the name is 100% supposed to sound that bad. So
Yes, and the DDA cleaner is Win, so she signs off with Y.
nice. So, are we all moving into the next chamber? Is everybody going to join Rodney at this point?
Well, Rodney's
Sure.
still going to be extremely quiet and trying to keep his twitch from making him known.
Do yourself a favor and roll another stealth check.
Yep.
And I gotta look at some of these real quick.
25.
Let's see here. Yeah, no, you're pretty much fucking hidden. Okay. So, which tunnel are you going down? Are you going down the one with the breathing or the one with the
He's
fog?
going to go down the one with the breathing because he's being the scout.
Okay. As you start making your way down this tunnel, there is a quick moment where that twitch of yours hits a rock that goes clattering down for a second, and you're able to quickly put yourself up against the wall and try to keep to the shadows as best you can. And all you hear is, "Help! Help! Please help!"
Yeet.
This is a flesh pedestrian.
Immediately,
What?
immediately, the player in me is like,
First of all, hold on.
how did
Hold
you
on.
get down here?
First of all, technically, I'm the first one in the room, so
Larry,
therefore
no
nobody
metagaming.
knows. This is actually the important thing to know about. If this creature, I say creature because I know nothing about this thing, relies on dark vision to see in darkness, Rodney is invisible.
No, I know.
Okay.
It doesn't see you.
No, I mean like in general, umbral sight.
Yes.
While in darkness, you are invisible to any creature that relies
Yes,
on dark vision.
I know. I
I'm
know the
making
Gloom
sure.
Stalker.
I'm making sure.
So, but yet again, help! Please help!
Rodney's going to kind of peek around, see where the voice is coming from, like what is emitting the voice.
You do have dark vision, correct?
60 feet.
You don't see. Actually, you know what? Make me a perception check again, real quick.
17.
Okay. And actually, you know what? Just for me, I'm gonna do a roll real quick. Let's see here. No, with a nat 1, this man is not. Okay. So, Rodney, as he looks around on the walls, there are more branching tunnels, but they're small. They're not big caverns. They're these little pockets that sit in the walls. And out of one of them, farther in the back, all you can see is a pair of glowing eyes staring right in your direction. It doesn't see you. You know it doesn't see you. But there is something there. And all you hear again is a, "Help! Help me! Please!" It's just far enough out of your sight that you can't make out the shape, but you can see those eyes.
Rodney is going to take his hunting rifle off of his back. He's going to let Sonata know, for that way she could pass it along to the rest of the team. Because he's not gonna test the columns right now. It's verbal. He's going to tell her exactly what he's hearing. And then on top of that, he's actually going to quietly step about another 15 feet forward. Try to get a better idea of what it is that's speaking, but staying as close to the shadows as he can.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this. Roll me another stealth check, because as you're getting closer, even with just a few steps, you're starting to notice the ground is littered. And I mean littered with bones. You can't necessarily make out what they are.
That's a 15 stealth.
I can't guidance you this time. You're too far away.
Wow.
Yeah, but Sonata definitely knows that the room has bones in it.
Now they can't see you because of umbral sight. However,
They heard me.
as they heard
They heard a slight crunch.
not even a crunch, just this clatter. Just subtle clatter of just a couple of bones hitting each other. And then you see from all
Rodney even hears that, he just stops moving.
the minute that is heard, you see another set of eyes, and another set of eyes, and another, and another,
Ooh.
and another, and another, and another. And slowly, it's a cacophony of "Help me! Help, please! Help!"
Moment that he sees all the eyes, he goes, don't
Don't.
come this way. Don't come this way. Don't come this way. Don't come this way.
Is he running?
That one that was already out now is slowly starting to move closer. And this same just dead throat, dry, gritty "Help! Help! Help! Help!" And it is almost an alert. And you can see that while some of these figures slowly start creeping out on all fours, another couple set of eyes in the back slowly rise up higher than the rest of their brethren. One of them appears to be holding a weapon of some sort. Not anything that seems modern, it's rather primitive. But as this thing starts stepping forward, you're starting to see what looks like a big hyena, just black as night.
Rodney is going to quietly take a bone from the ground next to him, stand, and he's going to take a look. He's going to chuck this bone to the furthest corner away from him on the opposite end of the room, and then he's going to try to book it out of there.
Make me an athletics check.
$18.
Okay.
I have a quick question for
Now
you.
roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Quick question for you, James.
Yes.
since there is unlikely undead, what would undead be classified as?
These are not undead.
No, I know, but like
14?
in the situation we may come upon something that's undead.
I'm
What are
gonna.
they?
I'm running this as like any ability that involves like seeing things of evil specifically. If it's like a paladin ability, like say your what's it called, divine sense.
Hmm.
Anything that has evil intent, I would classify as a fiend or undead, or anything of a good intent, I would classify as celestial, depending.
Okay, and what about like turn undead?
I don't.
Probably not with these things specifically
Not
because they're not undead.
not with these things. They're not undead.
They're not undead.
It wouldn't matter. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Aren't these things more similar to Ash himself, technically?
No, because these are the ones that haven't been modified. These are the straight up natural
Yeah.
fun
These-
things.
These are
Fuck that.
these are the wild ones.
Yeah. So, what was that deck saving throw, by the way? I didn't get to see it.
That was a 14?
Oh no. Okay. So, you throw this bone and you're able to get it at least about 3/4 across the room, just behind the one that's moving closer, the regular looking black hyena-esque creature. And it goes from a and it just like starts going mad and leaps at what it thinks to be what this object is, but upon seeing it's a bone, you feel and you see the jaws wrap around it and it breaks through. Like not even any force or resistance, like butter, this thing cracks the bone in two. The others start swarming out and start trying to follow along with whatever this entity has seen. The two in the back, however, take a little more notice as when you try to run away and the shadow passes the light and your foot hits something.
Of course my foot would hit something.
It snaps through a wire, and from above, what looks like a platform of spikes comes to fall on you.
Oh,
And you're about to take some damage, my friend.
it's a great start. Question. When do the rest of us get here? Do we get here at all?
Hold up.
Or what are we doing?
You're
while this is
taking
happening?
22 points of piercing damage as this thing basically falls on top of you, and you are now pinned and prone.
Lovely.
More levels in Monk or Ranger.
He has more levels in Monk. He's a
Do you have
level-
evasion yet?
I do. You're right. Thank you. I forgot.
So that would mean half damage
nothing.
because you still failed. No, because
No,
he still
I'm-
failed the save.
yeah.
Evasion
I feel-
only gives you nothing.
My bad.
if you
My bad.
succeeded. So you're still pinned, but that 22 is now going to become an 11. So
It's like, is there any way to knock that
Good-
down? Because
good,
no.
good call, good call.
Thank you.
But
I forgot
now-
about that myself.
Now you've made noise, my friend, and a hell of a lot of it.
Yeah. All Sonata would hear is, "Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh, this hurts! What the hell?"
Now, what I would like you to do, Rodney, is you're gonna roll for initiative. Are all of you?
We don't know what we're doing. Because we don't know. Like, what have we been doing this whole time?
Rodney's
Well,
been
like, did
keeping
you
guys
come
in
into the
loop,
cavern
so-
after Rodney had like
Yeah.
filled you in on the details beforehand? Not like because when he was talking to you about like having to talk to somebody, and Sonata was already like, "Ooh, I can talk."
Did
to people."
Ash inform that there was danger?
So Sonata's the only one receiving information, and she was already walking down towards where he had gone.
Okay.
As he had walked in there, she probably stopped when he was like, "Don't come this way," and is like listening, turns to the others. Yeah, that doesn't sound very good.
Yeah,
I think we might need to save his ass.
If Ash hears anything bad going down, he's sprinting that way immediately.
Immediately.
And there he
pulls out
goes.
An anti-matter rifle in one hand and a laser rifle in the other.
Okay. So I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
Indeed.
Over. Okay.
Sonata pulls out a dagger and a pistol.
Are you actually kidding me, D&D Beyond? It literally spun on a 20 and then hit the edge of the screen and knocked it to a 2.
And then what I want you all to do is I want you all.
I have advantage on initiative
I am trying to write out the initiative.
because I have a
because
dagger
I'm
of
done.
warning.
Same.
That
Okay. I'm going to write out the initiative in.
I'm just
the
waiting
rules.
for.
nice. That would be a 22.
A 22. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have you all tell me what your initiative is in 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go 25 to 20.
20.
Sonata with a 22.
Okay. So that's
Oh,
Sonata.
and Calvin with a 20.
Yep. And Calvin. And then 20 to 15.
Rodney has a 19 with an 8 mod. Celeste has a 19 with a 7 mod.
Okay, so that puts you into the 20s, right? Like up above 25?
No.
Oh.
It's not Rodney and then Celeste.
Oh, okay, okay.
He was saying the mods so that you knew which one
Okay,
was
yeah.
higher.
Okay, no worries. Okay, and then we'll go 15 to 10.
Ash has a 5. I'll just make it easier for you.
Okay, so then we have. You said that Rodney and Celeste both had 19s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So.
Everyone just take the alert feat, or like
Dagger of warning.
it gives you more initiative.
It gives you advantage
Mm-hmm.
Sure does.
because you cannot be surprised.
See, but Celeste and Rodney both have a +7 and a +8 to initiative.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know what they did.
That's a Gloomstalker. Dreadful Ambusher gives him adds his wisdom modifier onto
Okay,
initiative.
so Sonata, you're first up, and as you come up upon this scene, you see Rodney pinned to the ground under this, what looks to be like a metal piece of one of the tunnels that's been jammed filled with these jagged shards of metal that look to be about 3 feet in length and about maybe 3 inches wide at its base. So what are we doing?
Give me a second. Let me just take a look through my spells here, since we don't have spells technically.
Your modifications, we'll call them for today.
My augmentations.
Yes.
Weird shit you can do.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to You said there's metal in these things?
It is basically a big ass platform of like a sheet of thick ass steel that is jammed filled with these spikes made out of other shards that they probably pulled from bits of the wreckage.
Oh, that's what's on top of Rodney right now.
That's what's on top of Ronnie. You can't actually see the whalers behind him simply because you don't have dark vision and you don't currently have a line of sight on them either. All you're going off of is a flashlight, and it's not really illuminating the room with him right in the way.
As someone with a -1 to strength, I don't think I'm the person to try and lift this thing off him. Thank you very much. But uh, let me check something.
I mean, you do have a big metal motherfucker chill.
I know. I'm looking. I'm looking at the sheet right now. Like, is it gonna? Does it have a? It's a +2 to strength. Would it be strength or athletics to lift up this thing?
I'd say for just straight lifting, it's straight strength.
Okay.
Athletics would be like climbing or like trying to see how far you could throw something, kind of thing.
She's gonna direct Symphony to attempt to lift the thing off of him, and cast. Actually, let's see what kind of an action that takes. That is a full action. Well, that's fine right now since we can't see the enemy. Is going to take her action to cast guidance on Symphony for this.
Okay.
Let's see, and so that is. Total of 13.
So Symphony goes to try and lift this thing and gets a little bit of headway. And Rodney, as this is happening, you can feel the shards just like slowly being raked out of you until it seems like it's a bit too heavy and it just falls right back down.
Can I like actually lifts it? Try
Yeah,
to
I was gonna say
wiggle
like
my way
as
out?
it's. Is there a way like while Symphony is lifting this that like?
Unfortunately, it is not currently Rodney's turn,
Okay,
so there isn't much you can really do.
That's
You
fine.
are in initiative at this current moment.
that is fine.
So I will say though, because of how this went down, the platform sinks a little deeper, not only into Rodney but into the ground by about an inch deeper.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I tried. I tried to be helpful. I did a bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
And she is going to shout back at the others that Rodney is trapped. We need to get him out.
Okay.
And that's just about as much as I can do on my turn. So
Okay. Then Calvin, what are you up to, my guy?
All right, let's see.
We have a frozen Ben again. There we go.
There you go. I know.
He's there.
I'm going. Seeing as Symphony had a good idea, like, fuck, fine. You'll go over and try to lift the goddamn platform.
Okay. Give me a strength check.
Fuck.
You know what? Just because I'm feeling kind today. Just because I'm feeling kind. Since Symphony is still probably trying to lift this as well, I'll give you advantage on that check, so roll for me one more time.
Come on, Calvin.
There you
Okay, well,
Hey, that's what we're talking
So-
about.
so you see, and I'm gonna be nice to y'all today. You see Calvin and Symphony, and whereas Symphony's still like trying to hold it up as best she can, you see Calvin rush up and kind of push and give a heave and flip this thing off of Rodney himself and land solidly on 3 of the whalers that were trying to, get at Rodney from behind. And at this point, with that cavern now opened and free of the debris, you can now see with your flashlights these 2 humanoid hyena hybrids that are just ready to rock. They've got these makeshift spears out of what seems to be bits of pipe, and metal that have been tied to the top or put together with sinew and just savage looking. One of them seems to have like a piece of their face like torn off from the side, like their cheeks have like this side is just fucking gone, and there's like bits of bone underneath that have just like not healed over. The other one, standing taller, has these claws that have been also tied with sinew to the top of their hands and their actual claws to make these really fucked up, like saber tooth against Wolverine looking hands. They look gnarly, and there are more scars and scratches on him than the other, seemingly have fought for the position he now holds, along with 5 of the whalers that are now looking at their dead friends and now to you. And there is no help anymore. It is now food.
We're food now.
That's cool. Acting church.
Just all right, let's see what we're rocking with. What we doing?
You met the Claude one. Right, you first.
Claude one first? All right, give me some shots. Okay. Hold on here. Let me
That's my brother.
let me check this sheet real quick. Oh boy.
There's no way that the 30 doesn't hit. Come on.
No, that hits. I'm not saying it don't hit. I need to do some quick maths here. So
Big maths.
that would make it about. Okay. Yeah.
And for second attack, he's going to forego it with the expend a superior die commanding strike. So not take a shot.
Yay.
Okay.
Pew.
You can add.
Now, just as a thing, you hit this guy, and it smacks him dead in the shoulder, and there's a.
That's right.
And then turns right to you, and there is a bloodlust and a hunger, and it is ready to come for you.
That was the chief or the guard?
That would have been the chief.
Okay.
16 to hit.
Oh,
Slightly less impressive.
That'll still hit.
Nice.
So,
And I am going. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to use my arcane jolt feature once per turn. When you hit a target with a magic weapon attack, or your steel defender hits a target, you can choose to either deliver an extra 2d6 force damage or restore 2d6 hit points to a creature or object within 30 feet of the target. I'm going to restore 2d6 hit points to Rodney.
Okay, cool. So let me just take into account
Take
the damage
5 hit
here.
points back, Rodney.
Sweet.
So minus 13 is the
21 damage.
and then minus the 8. Hang on, I'm doing this one at a time. Oh, I didn't prepare for quick maths, and that's my fault. My fucking phone died, so I can't use the calculator.
Quick maths.
Brain. So that be okay. No, we're good. Yeah. So Sonata hits the other shoulder, and this man's is not happy, and this man's is also pretty fucking hurt already.
Hmm?
You get the feeling that these guys haven't really dealt with many people from the surface that are this heavily ready for combat, and that hurt.
Yeah.
It's still angry and it's still ready to come for your face, but I mean, at this point in time, he was not expecting that. And now, I believe it is Celeste's turn.
Rodney.
Oh, Rodney. Sorry, my bad.
No worries. So, Rodney, who has his bow in hand, is going to Don't worry about that.
Oh no! What was that?
Are you okay, David?
I'm perfectly fine.
Is
I'm
everybody
just-
okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
Ah,
The hell was that?
random
don't
glass
know.
shatter.
Even people in chat are concerned, man.
Random glass shatter?
That's fine. Um,
Is it the same kind of thing we talked about before?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, random.
Great.
So, as it
let's,
stands,
let's-
Rodney is going to get on one knee. He's
You
going
proposing?
to look at the chief directly in the eye. And he's just going to... And not even a word escapes this man. And he's going to shoot him 3 times.
Pew pew
Go for
pew.
it.
The chief.
Yep. Which I have a feeling is going to be dead after this round.
Depends.
Miss hit.
Okay. You see, this is the worst part of all with that. He becomes my favorite foe. And I also burn a key point for a death strike.
Oh no.
And... Oh no, I didn't actually say it was a Kensei shot, so I'm going to ignore that one. So that's...
I'll let you have it.
Okay. So that's 2d6 plus a d4 of damage. Total of 11 points of damage.
Okay, so that would make it... Oh boy, okay. Yeah, this thing is now bloodied with like an arrow now sitting just to the side of the neck, and it is very profusely bleeding and definitely not looking great. It is unhappy and it wants blood. So that would make it Celeste's turn now.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. She is very unhappy with this whole shenaniganry that's happening here. So she's going to take her laser rifle.
Oh boy.
Pew pew.
Shall we go with the vicious one? Yeah, let's go with the vicious one.
Well then.
And I was going to add Divine Smite to that, but I don't. I mean, like, can I?
Do you need to?
No, she really doesn't. So you take this shot with the laser rifle, and
Just did
as
35
it looks
damage.
like the chief is ready to pounce and go right for good Mr. Calvin, your brother.
That's my brother.
You take aim and you're ready. That wolf in your eyes was ready for fucking blood today. And you aim it, and your aim is just spot on, and through the front of the head, back out the skull, and leaves a charred mark and cauterizes whatever fleshy bits would have been in there. And this thing gives a
Guys.
done. Done. Good fucking job. Okay.
Yes, queen.
Ooh.
She just, as soon as
Okay.
it hits the ground, she just kind of looks at it for a minute and she's like, "Don't touch my brother."
So
And that would
now it's the Whaler Guard's turn. And seeing Miss Celeste just blow out the brains of the pack leader, now realizes, oh shit, I guess it's my job now. Leader! And then just tries to fire a couple of shots with his bow.
Oh no.
Good question. How close is this guy to Symphony?
Well, if they're in the back of the cavern and you're still near the front, I'm gonna say it's like 40 feet.
Let me check something really quick. Oh no, never mind. Continue.
So that would be, I'm guessing a 17 doesn't hit, yeah? Celeste?
No, not at all. She's got an AC of 19.
Damn, this man cannot fucking fire today. That's, yeah, no, that's a 6. Uh, so you see this, like, hyena looking motherfucker who has, like, his face half off. He's got this grin, like, yeah, I'm the new guy. I'm the leader. And he fucking takes a shot and it misses. And there's like a look of, oh shit. And then just quickly, like,
Dun,
nope.
dun.
Gonna get it. Fucking,
No.
uh-oh. not having a good day. And that's gonna end that man's turn. Unfortunately, now we have the whalers themselves. And I rolled them all on the same initiative, so we're gonna have some fun. So let me pull up this sheet here. Don't worry, they don't got much. So I mean, at this point, if I keep rolling as bad as I am, y'all are gonna be fine. And it's gonna be going for. You know what? We're gonna go for Calvin. Does a 16 hit?
No dice.
No dice? Son of a bitch. Okay. Number 2. Still doesn't hit. So the first whaler is now just like seeing the failure of the pack chief, and then seeing this guard so fucking ineffective at shooting the other one, thinks that maybe the little brother might be a better target, and it goes to take 2 snaps at you and just sidestep, and it is now just like poised and turns and is still locked on you, ready for the next round. However, the one, funnily enough, that is sitting right on the opposite side of you is about to go for a couple of attacks, and we do get a flanking bonus for this. So let's see if maybe with advantage I can get a couple of attacks in. That is cocked. Oh, 24?
Fuck. Yep, that hits.
Okay. So we'll roll the damage for this one first. Plus. Okay. So that is going to be 10 points of piercing damage for the first attack. And then we're going to go for the second. Does a, what is this? I think, why am I so bad at math? Does 17 hit?
Nah, just barely.
Okay, so it gets that first bite in, and it gets you good. Like, it gets that arm, and it starts trying to pull, and then as you're slowly being jerked to one side, it tries to go up for the throat, and it misses entirely. You're able to, like, pull yourself back just in time. It hurt like a bitch, but it was able to get it. It wasn't able to hit for that second one. Now, third whaler is going to go up to Rodney, who it saw straight up just fire, just one arrow, even though the other 2 missed. It still wants to get some blood and revenge for its pack leader. So, I'm guessing that guessing a 12 isn't going to hit you.
No, sir.
And I'm guessing a fucking 7 isn't going to hit either. So,
You're
yet
having
again,
a time of it.
listen, man, these dice were loving me, and then they fucking hated me. So, again, another 2 chomps, completely miss, sidesteps, gone. And then we have fourth whaler, which is going to go for Sonata, actually.
Ooh.
So let's see how this goes. Probably shit.
You can sure try.
What?
That is A 16. I'm guessing that doesn't hit.
Not gonna hit.
Fuck you. 10 doesn't hit either. Okay. Then the last whaler is definitely not very happy with Celeste and is going to take a couple of chomps at her, even though I'm pretty sure this AC is about to kill me yet again.
Let's do it.
17 does not hit.
Nope.
21?
That'll do it.
Gang. Okay. Let's get a couple of bites in there. So.
Your girl do have that pally AC.
So you're going to take 9 points of piercing damage as this thing misses the first bite, but is able to go right in to the side right here and just clamp down for a solid minute and just shake for a second before letting go and then getting ready to just repositioning for another attack. Now we go back up to the top of the round to Sonata. Oh no, sorry, my bad. Ash, it is Ash's turn.
Alright, Ash just doesn't exist. It's okay. Pretend he's in the background. Can he run across the room to get next to Calvin?
Yes.
Cool. He's going to get within 5 feet of each of the enemies.
Okay.
He's going to cast Shield of Faith on himself.
Okay.
Which, and this is just nanobots cover him, or at least a space nearby, and then it'll block stuff.
Yeah.
So that, and then I'm going to cast Word of Radiance. Give me a DC 20 con check for both of the
DC
enemies.
20. Okay, let me just check this real quick. 14, I'm guessing fails.
Yes.
And another 14. So yeah, both are
Let me roll
both
that.
fail.
That's an unfortunate number, but that's fine. 8 damage to both of them.
8 damage to both. Okay, good to know.
And he's gonna try and get the attention of both of them on him, not Kelvin.
Okay, cool. So,
essentially beams of like, I'm gonna flavor like radiant energy as radiation. Beams of radiation beam out from his hands to both of these enemies, and they just kind of like hair shrivels and whatever else. It's just disgusting.
So you see like the flesh underneath the fur as it burns away start to like bubble and pop and like, and they just let out this like screech, and I mean like, I can't recreate the sound because God knows I'm not gonna make people have their ears get raped today.
It's okay. I did that already with the glass shattering.
Yes, you did. So like you just hear, and this is like a strangely human scream. Like this isn't like the way that they say like words where it's really definitely not human. This is like very human, near like young people's screams. It is messed.
Ash is not phased. He's seen war.
And now back to the top we have Sonata.
Who's left?
There's one guard and 4. Whalers?
There's one guard and 5 whalers.
Oh, 5. And you have a whaler on top of you.
Check something real quick. Not worried. Do I want to use that yet? Nah. Not a good idea. We'll just start shooting things. She is going to The one that's on top of her. I believe. Hold on. I have one or I have two attacks per action. 29 to hit, 12 damage.
Okay. And who was that to again?
The one that's right on top of me.
Okay. Yeah. How much?
Is it dead yet?
Hold on. I'm brain. 12 damage. So there's a moment where it almost doesn't know it died, and it tries to run, and then as the bullet travels into it, it hits nearly the back at the base of the neck, and it's at a point where it definitely severs the spinal cord, and the legs just kind of stop, and it flops. So it's not dead, but it is like immobile, trying to nip at your heels.
And then she's gonna shoot at one more, because there's other ones.
The cat is back, everybody. Hello.
Welcome, cat.
Itty bitty pretty kitty.
17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And I'm gonna use another arcane jolt
Which one
to.
was to that again?
You said there were like 5 other ones. Whatever, which one looks beaten.
I'll say
these people off.
I'll say you hit one of the ones that Ash had already kind of
Yeah.
hit a bit. That
18
one,
damage.
Yeah. So that's gonna fucking take that one right out of fucking commission.
We are going to add another arcane jolt to hit whoever's closest to it with 8 damage. No. Whatever other enemy.
So it doesn't kill this one, but it does leave it to the point where like it kind of goes through one of the shoulders, and you hear a and the leg kind of just like falls a bit limp. So it's like dragging this leg around, but it's like ready to go, and you just hear a food.
And then Symphony is going to walk up to this one and make an attack.
Oh god.
With my bonus action. This is my spell attack modifier to hit for. Hold on. $14 to hit. I'm assuming that doesn't hit.
No, that still hits.
Cool. And that is
yeah.
how much damage? Give me back my Steel Defender sheet.
Mm-hmm.
1d8 plus 1. Six damage.
Okay.
So Symphony just walks up and like pulls out a blade that had been in a sheath at her hip and just boom.
And with that, you see, as it goes to say, right through the neck, and the head rolls to the other side of the cavern. Now, all these whalers are starting to kind of like look around and assess the situation, especially the guard that seems to have a bit more intelligence than the rest. The guard is fucking booking it out of the way and trying to get the hell out of here. The others are kind of in the midst of everything and are just kind of stock still.
Was the guard near any of us?
The guard was firmly in the back and shooting you from range. I don't think so.
Well, this guard is going to be catching 2 bullets from Calvin.
Oh!
Yeah.
Take those shots.
I love this group.
First one was 17 damage.
Y'all get the feeling that these things were meant to be ambush predators and didn't expect a band of fucking high-trained mercenaries to come in there and start fucking shit up.
Probably.
They're used to being the ambush predators and not being ambushed.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're
You
out
didn't,
here being like,
you didn't
"But
expect
he's
two
fine."
cowboys, a Warforged, whatever Rodney is, because I'm still confused by what he does, and Artificer and big bulky steel defender.
And for the
We
second
sound like the punchline to a joke.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
One that
Because
Rupert
we
tells
all did
very
all
fucking
think
off.
We don't sound like we are.
We
Listen,
are, aren't we?
Rupert kind of chimes in on the comms. Y'all fucking dead yet?
Nope.
What do you
Still here?
think?
Still looking hot, and there are a lot of dead dogs.
They are not dead yet, but they did get hurt like I assumed.
Okay, so
Only one of us got hurt. Blame that one.
so this guard is trying to run away and trying to get the hell out of here, and all of a sudden you see Calvin aim a revolver and go, and this fucking big ass dog dude, it's like the first one hits it in the back of the head and sends it to like flip over, and then the second one hits it in the chest for good measure, and there's just two giant fucking holes in this thing as it just
Yeah, Calvin.
spin. Wink at Sonata. This pistol away.
Of course.
okay, try to be slick with it, try to flex, I can respect that.
Meanwhile, Sonata's standing here, having not moved. Her pistol is leveled, and her other hand hasn't left like its place at her hip, and she's just standing there like absolutely nothing has happened.
Striking a
Okay.
pose.
And then
Her
At this
jacket
point-
undisturbed.
at this point, the rest of the whalers that are left, which is probably about 2 at this point,
Are they bolting?
give a go, and fucking like retreat back into the holes and start scurrying.
Can Ash take a shot at the one that was right next to him?
They were both killed.
Both of those were killed? I thought it was only one.
Yeah, because no, she shot one with her artificer feature, and then the fucking big ass steel defender decided to hack its fucking head off.
Oh.
The second one. So yeah,
Welcome.
no, those are both gone. So, initiative at this point has been taken off, and now we are going to take our 10-minute break for the night.
Yeet.
Hey, we'll be back. Stay with us.
We love you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying. We'll see you in a bit.
We
We'll be
will
back
see
in
you
time.
in 10 minutes.
Oh no.
Oh god, the robot's going to keep us honest.
We'll be back soon. we're back. Hi, everybody.
Yeet.
Welcome back. So, yeah, I
It's
took the
time
braid
for my
out.
spiel.
Yes.
It's time for my spiel
Yes,
at
it's
halftime.
time. It is time for the social spiel. So, Shaq, take it away.
Shaq Socials. Hi. If you don't know me, I'm Shaq, and I'm here to tell you about all our fun social things, because PR brain go bear. We have a lot of different social media platforms up and running that if you are not following, should definitely be following to keep track of us. We have, to start, here, our Twitch. So if you aren't already following us, go ahead and follow us here. We have a YouTube. If you want to go back and watch our past episodes, you can go and catch up on that on our YouTube page. Also, Twisted Perceptions. We have an Instagram where we post updates, a TikTok where we post fun shenanigans. And we now have our Discord server that is up and running. So if you are of the age of 18 or older, you are able to join this Discord and join our community that is all things Twisted, but also just kind of a place to like hang and vibe with other D&D people. So that's fun. Also, because we didn't do this earlier, hello to the 2 guest players tonight who are not on our usual stream. For those of you who are new to our stream, our usual group is there's 4 of us. There's James, there's Riley, who James is DMing, Riley who's playing Ash, David who's playing Rodney, and myself playing Sonata. We usually have other characters and our Dungeon Master. And today we invited our lovely Lyrie and Ben here to come and guest on our stream tonight, and we're very excited about it, and we're very happy to have them here. And you too can possibly show up on stream if you do things on our Patreon, which we also have. So if you want a chance to give input to NPCs that show up in stream at a higher level patronage, you can possibly run your NPC that shows up in stream things if it wins a thing. So we also have a Patreon. I'm done now.
Beauty. Hey, listen, beautiful spiel, just like every night. So, let's get back into this, shall we? So, you find yourselves now among the littered corpses of whalers, both in their more savage state and seemingly others that have mutated to a higher form of sentience. But you also notice this cavern has no exit. And the fog is still pouring, and it is starting to fill the spaces. It's only growing more and more as it starts to creep along the floor. What are you doing?
We head left.
I can scout again in the other way.
Wait, I think Ben was talking.
Okay.
I was going to say we head left, but Ash?
First things first. Ash will open his mouth, and a healing solvent will come from it and attach itself to the wounds on Calvin.
No, fucking.
And he'll heal. He'll heal all of the hit points he's missing, because you said only 6, right?
Only 10.
Oh, 10. Okay, let me
Calvin
roll.
has 10 missing. Celeste has 9 missing. Rodney has 6 missing.
This just confirms my whole Baymax thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rodney,
Tell me
that's-
if Baymax had a... You cannot tell me if Baymax had a mouth, he wouldn't just breathe healing on people. Just...
Yeah.
That was a 6. So 6 healing to you, Ben. To Calvin.
Nate, did Ash just throw up healing potion on people?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a mama bird feeding its babies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's healing word. There's no other way to do healing word.
So
There is, with a word.
yeah.
Looks like some Brendan Fraser's mummy type shit where it's just like.
Well, let me look at Calvin. Let me look at Calvin and say heal, and that'll work, right?
Yeah. Technically.
Well, Celeste has been healing him for a while now with healing words before, so he's not totally unlearned in the ways of healing word, but it usually doesn't come out as vomit, you know?
No, it's not like it didn't spray. It's like a fume kind of solvent. Like,
Oh, so you're gassing him.
yes.
Yes.
Fair.
So it has now taken gaslighting to a whole new level.
Okay.
I hate
So-
you all.
Are we all prepared to head on out to the next point of our destination today?
At this point, Rodney's gonna look to everybody again and be like, "So, should I scout the other side too? I just didn't expect all of this, or I would have had us better prepared."
We handled it decently well.
I would suggest that we all go together.
Probably for the best.
You, my friend Ron, you ahead, scout ahead, as you do. Yeah, us as a group move behind you. I'd say what, 30 odd feet?
Okay. And then Rodney would once again create that mind link and be the designated distance away from the group as he leads them.
Mhm.
Alrighty.
But this time
So-
he's being very cautious of any other tripwires on the floor.
Roll me an investigation check.
Take advantage.
For what? Less?
Ash is helping.
Oh, okay.
2 dark vision mother.
So advantage on it?
Mhm.
Yes.
That's a
Celeste is just
19.
staying a little bit closer.
Okay. So, from what you were able to learn from the last tripwire, as your leg still, while healed, definitely is throbbing a bit from some of the muscle having to reattach itself to the bone, you now are able to quickly surmise other smaller traps that have been left behind. Some things that look to be crude darts made out of different parts of the metal, and as you're going down this tunnel, it does slowly start to become more man-made construction and bits of metal once more, and you're able to kind of find your way around and make sure that nothing has been tampered with. You're able to point out whatever little things you see to the group, and you all are able to manage your way past it. They're not very hard traps. These are very dumb dogs.
You're telling me
then
they're
you-
not good boys?
They tried to eat your face. I don't think they're good boys.
Well, they
Can we
definitely
adopt
wanted my
them?
face, but anyway.
anyways.
Celeste is
Um,
kind of like gonna wrap an arm around Calvin and be like, "See that shot? Did that shot for you."
Yeah, see those 2 shots?
We lost your audio at the end
We
there.
did lose his audio at the end.
Heard those 2 shots and then it was done.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks like I was gonna say, did he freeze? Did he not?
Anyways, you guys travel for a bit further down, and you make it to about, I'll say, another 20, 30 feet before and you
That doesn't-
feel beneath your feet a quick shift and rise and fall as the tunnel seems to bow, and you see a couple of bolts ting, 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 fly out of the sides, and you're able to avoid them pretty well, and it doesn't actually take the thing apart, but there is a lot of strain and tension being put in this particular space. And then you hear the as an engine, you can hear it now. And as you get closer, you start to see the light and the swirling energies as you enter into what seems to be a spot where the void lands meets our reality. This engine that you see before you is very damaged. There are bits and sheets taken off of the engine. Seemingly, this is what the whalers were using to build their traps, not understanding the ramifications of what the machine was meant for. And it has been torn and shredded for their usage.
No wonder. And we're gonna get on the comms again and just, hey, I think we figured out what's wrong with the engines.
Give it to me, darling.
And she relays what they're seeing, what they just fought, the obvious conclusion to be drawn.
Well, shit.
You know, it's becoming more and more your catchphrase.
Seems I just get more and more bad fucking news. Not your fault. Shit's just fucky around here. Anyways. Alright. I'ma send in another airdrop. Might be able to slow it before we can get some actual professionals down here to fix what needs to be fucking done. I'm gonna have to talk to the Science Society or some shit.
Just
And
don't
another.
use my name when you talk to them.
It takes a few minutes, but you hear a loud as hell, another engine, but quite smaller than the one you're used to, as on this, what looks like the mix between an ATV and a motorcycle, barrels down this tunnel. And seemingly, the big pussycat decided to finally join the fray to see what he could do. As again, the 9-foot tall, gray skinned Maddox, with now in the darkness, these green lines of light just sort of forming markings around the different pieces of his body, makes his way inside. And he's got a whole bunch of sheet metal and a blowtorch. He's like, listen, I don't know what the hell we're gonna do, but I mean, we may as well do it quick. And he looks to Sonata specifically, knowing that her persuasion as an artificer is probably going to be very much needed here.
Usually artificers aren't that charismatic. This one is.
Sends a couple of sheets over her way. Now, I also got a couple of power converters. We're going to be able to try and reroute this back into the place it's supposed to be. That way, hopefully, we can keep things from, ending up like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I read that book once.
Me too.
It's a fucking damn good book, isn't it? Anyways. And he looks to Ash. You're pretty decent at fixing things, I gather, from what Rupert's told me, right?
Can do a little here and there.
Fair enough. A little is what we're going to have to do before we can get Layla down here. So he starts distributing different sheets of metal. And he looks to Rodney. You're pretty light on your feet and able to get up into places, right?
I try.
Good, because we're going to need you to hang off of this bitch and hold things in place while we try and get this shit rocking and rolling.
Sonata pouts at being compared second to Layla, even though she knows it's true.
Right, we ready to get this done?
She pulls out something from her pocket, and it just looks, it looks like a lipstick container at first glance, and then she uncaps it, and it turns into this gnarly, which in the context of the game are the all-purpose tool for artificers.
Yes.
That, but like the cyberpunk version of this stuff,
Love it. Love it. Okay.
and just gives them a look.
Ash just takes a piece of sheet metal and looks at the like more like unneeded spaces for like wire routing or anything, and you see like he like puts up his hand, brings all the other fingers down but the middle finger, fortunate enough, and it like shifts and changes into a welding gun essentially,
Nice.
and he starts welding a piece into place.
I want you to make me I'm going to say make me an Arcana check. Calvin looks to both Celeste and to Calvin. Now look, I'm a pretty big guy, but I can't hold up all these sheets by myself.
That's a nat 20.
Damn.
Yeah, nah, you just fucking. Well, actually,
Yeah, he's just
and you're able to not only like cut this piece to fit exactly what you need, but you're also able to get it welded in pretty well. Actually, you almost wouldn't know that there was one to begin with. And Sonata, I want you to make me an Arcana check. I want Calvin and Celeste to both make me. We're gonna say athletic checks with advantage because you're trying to hold this up for a longer period of time. As Maddox is also holding on each of the sides, and you see this tiny little green, what looks to be like a tiny bear, just poke out of the breast pocket of this vest as it takes the welding gun and just starts like going across whatever it can. Yeah. So let's see here, just to make sure I know what all the.
My Discord has decided to die on me. Give me a hot second.
All
Heard
good.
of it.
Those
Come on now.
I'll take those athletic checks. They're fine. So yeah, Maddox, Calvin, and Celeste are able to kind of like fucking like the big strong badasses just hold this shit up and start as Coda is going
It's
around.
totally fine.
Yeah, and is just kind of going around and welding whatever needs to go in. Rodney, do me a favor and make me an athletics check.
That's not shot. Okay. But she's going to cast Enhance Ability before she does this, and I'm going to take
23.
advantage on that.
Okay, so that athletics check is definitely good enough. So Rodney is able to kind of like as Coda's going along, kind of like holding onto the side of the engine, kind of like press it into places where it doesn't exactly fit snugly, so that Coda can finish whatever welding needs to be done there. And you all keep going with this process, and are definitely able to get everything down. However, Sonata is more concerned with a couple of the cufflinks and the hoses that have been basically torn off in order to access other pieces of metal, and try to affix them with the help of Symphony, and get those tightened back on. And slowly, as this happens, and as they're all working, you slowly see the smoke start to dissipate, and the engine stops rattling. And just in time too, because as you all were working, this massive swell seemed to have been coming up from the earth and rise and fall before finally setting back down, and the rattling of the engine stops. You all know it's patchwork, but you've done what you've needed to do for the time being to make enough time for someone else to come down here and do what needs to be done.
Mhm.
Maddox turns to all of you. You had to deal with them whalers, huh?
Yep.
Screw them.
Yeah, and Rupert wonders why the fuck I didn't come down here.
They weren't much of a threat. He'll walk over to Celeste. Yeah, Celeste.
Mhm.
Because he knows she's hurt.
Oh
And
no.
And he's going to healing word with the same kind of delivery, a healing vapor.
Again, it's just fucking Emotep from like the Mummy, just like weird like insect plague, but with gas.
Celeste is like, stop, stop, stop! I can heal my.
He's here to be the healer.
All
That's
right.
six.
Kind of
That's
fine.
6 health back.
6 health back. Thank you. Appreciate.
You keep rolling ones on your healing words.
All right,
Yeah,
guys
I
and
do.
girls.
I feel like the reason why is just because every single time he does it, he says shit.
Everyone else runs away from it. That's why it's a 1. They don't get all of the vapor.
Would you really just stand there and take it if this dude just walked up to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Minty,
Maddox
No.
kind of looks to all of you, and come on, we've got a knee back planned. Let's get the fuck out of here before more of those fucking bastards come back. And he's gonna usher all of you out the door, and then you just see from the side of his hip, he pulls out what looks like a hilt before slamming the bottom, and it shimmers out into this weird glowing purple and blue blade, seemingly made out of the same void energy that was used in order to power the engines, and kind of just across this tunnel, and actually is able to cave in just that size, so that way hopefully none of these motherfuckers are going to be able to get back at it until somebody is able to excavate, which he knows Layla is fully capable of doing.
Yeah, because we have the tank.
I love my baby. That is really Layla's baby.
It is.
That really is. That tank is her pride and joy.
She loves nothing more.
All right.
No, she loves Angel more than life itself, but
Anyways,
That tank is a second, a very
You
close
see-
second.
yeah.
you see what appears to be a rather ramshackle ladder that is made out of like bent pieces of bar and like chain. Probably the only reason it looks like that is because Maddox came down carrying his whole ass motorcycle on it. And he's gonna do the same thing going up, and it surprisingly holds. And that seems to be your exit.
Ash will wait for everyone to go and just kind of watch the tunnel behind them.
Calvin would like gesture forward.
Ash, make me a perception check as everybody's going up this ladder.
That's an 11.
Can I also make a perception check while I'm going up this ladder?
You know what? Yeah, but that'll be the last one.
Cool. That's also an 11.
Yeah, no. You guys come away with nothing. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. You're all copacetic and probably ready to get the fuck out of this.
Again,
Ash,
thank you, her brother, for being a gentleman. She climbs up before him.
Ash waits for everyone else to climb up. Kind of looks at the ladder. It's back at the tunnel.
Where's the rope, by the way? To where we are? The rope that we used to get here?
It seems that Maddox had kind of taken that and put it back on the bird.
Okay.
So you're all out. You're all pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back.
All right.
Tempted to have
Well-
Ash stay.
You have your transport. I have mine. Make your way back to the glory hole. Rupert may have some fun shit for you. And he just drives off.
Nice. Back on the bird we go.
And with the same speed and utter non-caring for anyone's well-being on its back, Skittles, the giant bird, and just takes right the fuck off.
Unfortunately, Calvin cops a water bottle to the face once again because Celeste wasn't prepared this time.
Ash, we're gonna say Ash stayed behind at the tunnel
Why?
to verify that those whalers don't come back.
Bum, bum, bum.
Fair enough.
And that was the last they saw of him ever again.
Hey,
Don't split the
hey,
party.
Ash. Hey,
Uh-huh.
Ash. In the back of your mind, seemingly from nowhere and everywhere all at once, you take what does not belong to your kind. Be wary of what you tamper with. And that's it. And everybody else makes their way back to the glory hole.
Yeet.
I am concerned.
He kind of just like looks up and listens, and he's just like very intimidating.
Fair enough.
Not.
So everybody else returns back to the glory hole, and Rupert is waiting in the hangar as the bird comes down. And there's just that simple southern shit-eating grin still plastered across his face as it always is. Well, looks like you all got out of there all right.
Sonata slides off of Skittles, pulls her cigarette thing out of a pocket, lights it. And you had any doubt?
In you? Absolutely not.
Celeste gets up and says, "Well, I hope you didn't have any doubts in me."
I mean, the
Rodney
wolf
just-
in your fucking eyes would fucking murder anybody within 100-mile radius of this fucking place. I ain't scared for you one bit. Calvin, on the other hand, I wondered if his fucking dick would end up exploding out of his pants.
Rodney just quietly
Immediately looks to her brother
slips
like,
off of
"What are
Skittles
you saying in private?"
and just is like, maybe I should leave.
Well, there's free drinks waiting for you. And, for your trouble. He looks over to a sliding, seemingly hatched door on the side, and he throws it over, and this gun rack appears before you. But they all seem to have a very peculiar weapon. Now, this is a weapon that you've all seen before. In fact, it's a rather well-known weapon around the bottom feeders. As Rupert pulls out his own and slaps the side. Take your pick of one of these babies. And
Version.
for compensation, he pulls out from the bottom these two sacks and just kind of sets them down. Now you'll find rather hefty sum of money, equating to about $500,000.
While everyone else is gawking, Sonata walks over and then like sets her arm against his shoulder, takes another drag. You know I love you, Rupert, but you also know I can't take weapons that aren't from the family or money from people that aren't ours. Let the others have it. I just want that drink and a good conversation.
Conversation I can give you, but not much else.
Meanwhile, all this is happening. Rodney is just calmly taking a rifle, taking his portion of the money, and then just nodding
You
and just quietly walking out.
I'm
Rodney.
pretty sure. Was Sonata going to say something else there? I think you were about to. And then... Okay. No, I figured. Okay.
Not like eyes up, eyes up. All right. Revolver. This portion. Eyes up is fine. All right.
Your inner Raymond is showing.
Now I'm gonna talk. Sonata's watching the siblings and then takes a drag. I mean, I'll
Celeste,
share if you feel like sharing.
she looks at her brother and looks at Sonata and says, I was here firstly. Secondly, it's a little weird. But if you're into him more than you're into me, I understand. And then she grabs 2 guns, because she always takes 2, and her lot of the money. She holsters one at her waist and chucks one over her back. And she says, but if you ever want a drink or some company, I know a place. You know my number. And she leaves. And does she know her number? Maybe. Maybe not.
She can find it. She will get a hold of it. Let me tell you, this woman is almost as good at finding people as Rupert is.
That's what I figured. That's why she was like, you know my number.
Don't
All
worry.
everybody gets is
Rupert,
as Ronnie like leaves the door, like leaves the building, he twitches and everybody just goes, ah, pretty ladies. Oh God, can't do it.
Rodney gets a response because guess what? Sonata is also Kalishtar, and just why are you running away so fast if you think I'm so pretty?
Oh, it was Rodney all along, guys. We all
All
thought
she
it was
gets-
us, but it wasn't. It was Rodney all
All
along.
she gets back is a
She
very
wants them
simple thing.
all.
Very simple question. Very simple comment she gets back is, I don't hold a candle to them, so I'm not going to try.
Who says I can't have everything I want? And I do want all of you.
They hear a hard stumble, fall in the hall.
hey, don't worry. I got all their numbers if you need them. He says that to Sonara. And then
Sonata.
That's not Sonora.
Sonata.
Definitely not Sonora.
Rain.
Sonata.
Listen, man. Similar sounding character names, and we have way too many to count.
Hey
So-
Ben, your sibling is having a night.
Calvin hands his card to Sonata. Calvin Trevor. He walks off.
She sticks it in her shirt, right where all the fun things go.
Right.
Eyes up.
Well, if y'all are done, trying to figure out whose bone you're hopping on, I'm gonna go get my own drink. I'll see you in the bar. He just takes a swaggered walk right out the door.
Sonata's following after, and Symphony is right in her wake.
And
All right.
as they leave, Celeste and Calvin are likely discussing the weirdness of this, and Celeste is absolutely throwing another water bottle in his face. I mean, you need to cool off a little.
I
I
can
saw you
offer a
hit the
good
floor.
shower.
All right. I think that's enough of being horny on Maine. All of us.
It's just Sonata, man.
All
Why
right,
do you think
guys.
Ash wanted to stay behind?
Okay. So, I think this is where we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I had a blast DMing, but it's going to be good to have our DM back in the DM seat. Ford, if you're watching, I hope I did you proud. And make sure to check out, as Shaq said before, our socials for Discord, Instagram, all of that fun stuff. Y'all take care. Have a nice night. I love y'all faces, and we'll see you next week.
Enjoy.